Welcome to Heather Ewing, the CRE Rundown. I am your host, Heather Ewing, and today I have a wonderful guest out of lovely Myrtle Beach. It is Wayne Hickey. He is the owner of Hickey's Interactive Adventures. Wayne, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure. So we've known each other through LinkedIn. I don't know, is it around 6 months, a year, somewhere in that time frame?
Yes, in that time frame, yes, you have been following me.
Yeah. It's always a joy learning more about you and the others in our community. But if you could share with our guests a little bit more about you and what you're doing.
Well, a little bit more about me takes me back probably 30 years when I started an entrepreneurial career, creating my own niche fishing magazine in Connecticut. We published a monthly fishing magazine, 10,000 copies a month. We did that for about 3.5 years. Moved in and out of corporate a little bit. And then I'd say about 16 years ago, I started working on this interactive family experience. And it started out as a 16-room walkthrough attraction, shooting at 250 scattered laser targets, different themed rooms, four people at a time, having a good time in there. Over 100 animatronics, morphed it into more family friendly attractions where all families and kids are interactive play. So we're taking the old business model of, let's say, a Dave and Buster's, and we're morphing it, turning it into a family entertainment experience in a 30 to 40,000 square foot Disney-like setting.
That's great. And what are you projecting as far as, because I know this is a new project for you, which it's been exciting following you and seeing some of the imagery and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you have a target date of when someone might be able to experience one of these interactive adventures?
More than likely, we're probably looking at the beginning of 2027. Once everything is found and finalized with all funding and everything, it's going to take about 9 months to 12 months to do a build out, find a
Mhm.
location, organize everything, and get it all set up.
Definitely. And construction lead times are definitely extensive these days. And I know just even in Madison and throughout the country, the retail experiences are something that people are really craving. And I think that's one of the things that drew me to you on LinkedIn is really boosting the family time together, the experiences. And I know for myself, playing around in the yard and different things with my siblings and neighbors was always really heartfelt for me.
Yes, I have 5 other brothers and sisters, so I know what it's like being around family growing up in and out of fights, but just mostly bonding and doing all that stuff. And I have three kids growing up at the same time, and with the phones and everything today, I noticed just a disconnect.
Right. Definitely. And how would you see this rolling out within families too, right? So if you think about it, they're coming to the Hickey's interactive experience. How do you see it affecting families after they visit, or is this something that you think they would visit once a month? Is it quarterly? What do you anticipate?
When we designed this, especially putting it in Myrtle Beach with 19 million tourists, they come down for a week-long visit. So when I set out to do this, I tried to make it totally more attractive, and it is also an ever-changing attraction. So by
Mhm.
that I mean, if you come in on a Monday, we have a set schedule where we're going to turn things around and we're going to change sets. We're going to change some themes so that you might want to come in on a Friday before you go back and get and do different experience. No two
Mm.
visits are ever going to be the same. So we built that into it. And what we're just trying to do is we bring in STEM, we bring in interactivity, we bring in the education part of it, and we bring in a bunch of things, whether it's augmented reality, virtual reality, live reality, or just throughout our experience, there's different attractions for people to see and do. And a lot of that exterior stuff on the inside just doesn't cost any money. It just enhances the
Mhm.
experience. And families will be doing this together. Most of the games that we have can be done either by grandparents and grandkids or parents and kids. And they're designed to bring parents and kids together to play these games. They're just fun, and they're low key, but they're fun for the whole family.
That's terrific. And so when you take a step back, planning anything big like this, 30,000 plus square feet, right? Changing sets, all of that. What has helped you from a mindset perspective? You know how I love talking about mindset
Yes.
of what has really helped you to kind of keep all the pieces moving and also staying fresh when you do encounter those different hurdles.
What helped me with where I'm at now, we had one where we were doing a build out. So everything that was up here kind of went down on some paper. And then as we were ordering things, and I was ordering all of the sets and all of the pieces everywhere from flowers to rocks to scenery to animatronics. And then as it all got put together, it all started morphing and coming together. So what was in my head was coming out, and it was going on two or three key people that were doing the build out. They followed my vision. We all were building it all out together. So it all came out. And now that we did this one as a test piece and tested it out with families, we're much more in tune on what I need to do our flagship.
That's exciting. And do you have a vision maybe of how many you might want throughout the
I
South
do.
or the Sun Belt in general?
No, I do. I would like to see 6 or 8 of these after we did the first one and it was open. The plan is to either owner operate it or after a few years franchise it. And we want to have 6 or 8 of these. And each one by its internal design is going to be different from every other one. So you'll kind of like, let's say a baseball park. No two stadiums are the same. So if you have this and one or two of the mini attractions are in one location, not in another location, then it's going to be worth your while if you're going to another city or another state to come and visit us over there because they're not the same.
Right, that's a great idea. And I think too, I see each of those kind of like their own canvas, right? You always
Yes.
have the canvas, but then you paint different layers on it to give it a different effect and experience.
Yes,
So how do you
each one will probably be different in size and different
Mhm.
width and different lengths. So it will all have to be reset and relayed out anyway. So it'll be fun. That's the fun part for me.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting from a franchising standpoint too.
Yes.
Mhm. But how would you say AI, right? We hear about AI all the time. It's affecting every industry. And I say if you're not including it and utilizing it, it's going to be a grim future for people.
True.
How are you utilizing AI now in the planning phases? And are there any hints of what you can share for the future?
Um, in the planning stage through that interactive walkthrough journey, there's a storyline that goes into each one, and we're utilizing AI telling the story in each room. So you're only in the room for a minute and a half, but each one has to have its own story. So we're using the AI to do that throughout the whole attraction, where we have tablets and we have dinosaurs and animatronics that are moving. We're going to use AI to have these things perform and react to different to customers' reactions and different things, as well as educational. There'll be an AI generated computer where you can plug in a variety of 200, 300 different questions and get different answers and different feedback. So there'll be AI running through a lot of it.
That's terrific. It definitely makes it easier, right? And you have to embrace
It's
it. It's not
it's
going to
incredible.
exit.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, and we're
Exactly.
starting to get into it deeper and deeper because, just having it write a story is on the simple part. But we're
Mhm.
trying to move to the next level. When we move to building our first one, there are some IP stuff that is going into this with what we want to do with these animatronics. They're going to be unique and different from anything that's out there now.
Nice. I don't know why this popped into my head, so of course I have to ask. I'm a curious person. What type of
Yes,
ceiling heights are you going to have floor to deck?
we would love to have a 22-foot ceiling
Mhm.
height. That would be
Mhm.
ideal. Just a simple truss grid on the top would allow us that little bit of high extra ceiling
Yeah.
to throw things. It's a 5-dimensional thing, so we want to utilize everything from the ceiling to the floor and in between.
That's great. And then are you having food,
Yes,
drink at the
we're our concept on this is to also do food, but we're going to
Mhm.
do it strictly by vending machines. We
Okay.
have been on the search. We found a pizza oven, if you will. It's not a microwave, but it's an oven that can do pizzas in about 2 to 3 minutes, fully automated. So we're going to, offer hot pizza cooked into an oven, as well as hot foods, cold foods, snacks, drinks, coffee machine that'll come up with anywhere from espresso to orange juice, all
Mhm.
fully automated, uh, kind of like the way they do in China, where like food is all prepackaged and all set to
Right.
go.
Yeah. Definitely quick, right?
Definitely quick, but good quality food. The other
Yes.
avenue to our food services, we're going to utilize local vendors. We're not going to use a Cisco or a other food service type one where the food is already frozen or prepackaged. We want to go to the local people that in that local city already produce great baked goods or great pizzas and great
Mhm.
foods for everybody to have.
Definitely. And then was the convenience then from a time perspective versus going with a local fast casual or restaurant, or walk me on that path?
Um, in this particular one where we were starting it off, we're keeping it family orientated. We did want to have a beer and wine. Um,
Mhm.
we don't need to get as extensive as a Dave and Buster's for food because we're not trying to classify ourselves as a restaurant.
Mhm.
Um, so we want to get people to come in and experience the attraction for their 2.5 to 3.5 hours, have a snack if they want to have a snack, and then go out and go have dinner.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that is exciting. So what do you see as next steps for you then in this process? You've got this great idea, you have a lot of just a lot of plans with it. What are your next steps?
I continue morphing the plan a little bit, working on it, making sure that it stays current. I stay up on top of new equipment that's coming out. Every November, I go to an IAPA show, which is an amusement show in Orlando, Florida, looking for new things, new family orientated stuff. So, staying on top of the business plan and modifying it constantly, and getting it investor ready. It has to have the pitch deck, the business plan, everything has to be investor ready. So, once we start moving towards that and we get the right momentum moving forward on investors, everything is already in place. So we will be more shovel ready. I don't want to. We don't want to lose time during the build out. We want to get it done in that 9 months, not closer to the year and a half.
Definitely. Well, this is really exciting. So I so appreciate you sharing this new idea. I love how you're breaking it down between vision and the tactical planning. And
Thank you.
I'll have to have you on again next year to see where you're at in the process with everything. But before we go, Wayne, my
Yes,
last question is always the big one. And what does living fully mean to you?
living fully to me is building where I'm at is building the legacy
Mhm.
of having this established, having multiple locations out there doing well, and seeing the people's reactions. So seeing the people's reactions and having the fun of this vision is what I'm looking for. We had the same type of thing when I did my fishing magazine, as simple as it was. It did
Mhm.
focus on individual, it was all on Connecticut, but individual lakes and individual field reporting. So in that mode, we received a lot of good feedback. I received a lot of letters, a lot of positive feedback on what we were doing, and that's the satisfying part. So once
Definitely.
this is out there and we get people that are the parents is what I really want to see being happy. I can make the kids happy in a Dave and Buster's. Sure, you just keep throwing them money, they'll just keep throwing dollars into a machine. But if you can get the parents working with the kids and creating those same type of memory that you get at a Disneyland for a whole lot less money, then that's what the ultimate goal is.
That's terrific. Well, Wayne, thank you so much for joining
You're
us
welcome.
today. And I will be reaching out in about a year from now to
All right.
give a good recap and see how we can help you as well. And before we go, what is the best way for people to connect with you?
The best way for people to connect with me is through LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Um, that is the best way to drop me a DM. I'm always available on there. Most of my information is right on there. Wayne Hickey on LinkedIn. It's very simple and straightforward. There's no sense in giving you out a phone number here or an email. It's just that's where you'd want to go, and then you can see the whole vision, and you can follow up on what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Wayne. I appreciate
Good.
it.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Bye bye.
Bye.